Hey YouTube, it's your girl Peach and I am back. We are diving into Ruth. This time it's going to be chapter 3. So if you haven't already seen the first two parts, go back to my other videos so you could go ahead and watch part 1 and part 2. That way you're not lost in the story, you know what I mean? And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. This is a channel where I focus on spirituality and I talk about my lifestyle because God can make a difference. So without no further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So I left off in chapter 2 talking about how Ruth was so loyal because she ended up staying with her mother-in-law after everything that they had been through, all the tragedies, all the heartache, and she was able to find favor with a man named Boaz. So we're just getting the true entrance of Ruth into this story. So let's read more and see what happens with Ruth and Boaz, because we're starting to see that she's in his field, she's finding favor, and that's kind of where we left off. All right, Ruth chapter 3. Ruth's mother-in-law Naomi said to her, "My daughter, shouldn't I find rest for you so that you will be taken care of? Now, isn't Boaz our relative? Haven't you been working with his female servants? This evening, he'll be winnowing barley on the threshing floor. Wash, put on perfume oil, and wear your best clothes. Go down to the threshing floor, but don't let the man know you're there until he's finished eating and drinking. When he lies down, notice the place where he's lying. Go in and uncover his feet and lie down. Then he will explain to you what you should do." Now, I don't know about y'all, but it sounds like Naomi is setting up Ruth to be with Boaz. Because if I'm going to tell you to put on some perfume and your best clothes, honey, I mean, something is brewing. Do we feel a little love story happening? I don't know. Something is up. She said, "Shouldn't I find rest for you so that you'll be taken care of?" Hold on. So I know he's a true and noble man from what we've read. He's also the family redeemer. Is he about to redeem their family through Ruth? And wouldn't it be crazy? Because Ruth has been so loyal this whole time and could have escaped and had a different life situation, but decided to stay here. But we're going to read on in verse 5 to find out Ruth's response to Naomi's counsel. All right, verse 5. So Ruth said to her, "I will do everything you say." She went down to the threshing floor and did everything her mother-in-law had charged her to do. After Boaz ate, drank, and was in good spirits, he went to lie down at the end of the pile of barley, and she came secretly, uncovered his feet, and lay down. At midnight, Boaz was startled, turned over, and there lying at his feet was a woman. So he asked, "Who are you?" "I am Ruth, your servant," she replied. "Take me under your wing, for you are a family redeemer." Now, I don't know how I feel about somebody uncovering my feet at night, but maybe that was a practice that they did back then. That's wild, okay? But it worked so far from what we can see. Mama knew something. She said, "Wait till he eat. Listen, don't approach me with nothing serious unless I done ate, because I'm hungry." She knew what she was doing. She directed her to wait until he was in good spirits. He had ate. He had lied down. Go at his feet. Go at his feet and cover his little feet or whatever. Maybe he had big feet. I don't know. No comment. Right? And then she just says, "I'm your family redeemer." So I'm so curious to know why she did this, why her mother-in-law instructed this, and how it's going to turn out. But the only way we're going to find out is if I keep reading. All right, verse 10. Then he said, "May the Lord bless you, my daughter. You have shown more kindness now than before, because you have not pursued younger men, whether rich or poor. Now don't be afraid, my daughter. I will do for you whatever you say, since all the people in my town know that you are a woman of noble character. Yes, it is true that I am a family redeemer, but there is a redeemer closer than I. Stay here tonight, and in the morning, if he wants to redeem you, that's good. Let him redeem you. But if he doesn't want to redeem you, as the Lord lives, I will. Now lie down until morning." So she lay down at his feet until morning, but got up while it was dark. Then Boaz said, don't let it be known that a woman came to the threshing floor. Wow. This is crazy. He literally was like, yeah, I'll help you because you're a woman of noble character, but there's somebody who's a little bit closer in the family line than me. Let him do it. But even if he won't do it, I will still do it. And the thing that he said to her is, you could have pursued younger men, whether they were rich, whether they were poor, but you came to pursue me. But what she don't know, or what he doesn't know, is that that's in obedience to what Naomi requested her to do. She was being obedient. And this is a story that really shows true obedience. It shows loyalty. It shows obedience. And I feel like it's amazing. Verse 15. And he told Ruth, bring the shawl you're wearing and hold it out. When she held it out, he shoveled 6 measures of barley into her shawl, and she went into town. She went to her mother-in-law, Naomi, who asked her, what happened, my daughter? Then Ruth told her everything the man had done for her. She said, he gave me these 6 measures of barley because he said, don't go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed. Naomi said, my daughter, wait until you find out how things go, for he won't rest unless he resolves this today. So after leaving his feet, she holds out her shawl. He puts more barley in there. He's like, don't go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed, which is also another beautiful thing. He didn't have to give her anything. But this was out of the kindness of his heart that he decided to extend more grain to the mother-in-law. I think, again, this is a story of loyalty, commitment, obedience. I'm seeing kindness. I'm seeing favor here. There's so many different things that's going on. And she says to her at the end of the chapter, wait until you find out how things go, because he won't rest until he resolves this today. So it shows what kind of man he is. He's ambitious for change. He's ready to get things resolved. He cannot sit with the situation and not solve it for her. And that really speaks a lot about Boaz's character. I mean, Boaz so far has been a really kind man. A really, really kind man. If we really just look from the beginning when he welcomed Ruth. So if I had to give a synopsis of this chapter, basically, Naomi is like, listen, Ruth, let's see if you can get taken care of out of all of this. You've already been doing so much for me. Let's just see if this man, Boaz, can redeem you, because he is the family redeemer after all. She tells her all this stuff to do. Perfume yourself, put on your best clothes, go to this man's feet, ask him a couple questions, whatever, see what he can do for you. He's basically like, hey, may the Lord bless you. I'm going to do everything in my power I can to redeem you, but there is somebody closer than me, so let me find out from him. If he'll do it, he'll do it, and then you good. But if he won't, then I will, right? And he leaves her with some barley, says, take it back to your mom. Don't go back to her empty-handed. And then Naomi's like, look, if I know him good, like I know him, he is not going to leave this situation not fixed. He's going to work on it until he gets a resolution. So you just wait with me here, and we just going to sit and watch and see what he does.